Left to die in the wilderness by someone she once loved, Sarah Mitchell's hope died with the setting sun. Bound to a tree with zip ties cutting into her wrists, miles from civilization with a shattered ankle, she whispered goodbye to her little girl. But when familiar paws thundered through the brush at dawn, she realized her guardian angel had 4 legs and a heart that refused to quit. What this golden retriever did next didn't just save her life. It exposed a monster and proved that loyalty runs deeper than blood. Sarah Mitchell should have known better. When her ex-husband David texted about their daughter Emily's stuffed rabbit left at their old spot, her mother's heart overruled her head. "Meet me at Whisper Creek, 4 p.m. Max rode shotgun, his golden head hanging out the window. When they pulled into the empty trailhead, something felt off. No other cars, no David. "Stay, buddy," Sarah said, cracking the windows. That's when David appeared with a stranger. Before Sarah could scream, a fist connected with her skull. Darkness. She woke at sunset, zip-tied to a fallen oak deep in the forest, her ankle shattered. David was gone. Her phone was gone, and nobody knew she was here. Emily, her 7-year-old, would go to the monster who just did this. "No," Sarah whispered, pulling against the restraints until blood ran down her wrists. As night fell and the forest came alive with predator sounds, hypothermia began its cruel work. Dawn broke cold. Sarah's shivering had stopped, the final stage before death. Then she heard it, crashing through underbrush, heavy panting. A golden blur exploded through the brush. Max. Muddy, soaking wet, covered in burrs, but his eyes locked onto hers with fierce determination. He didn't waste time. Max moved behind the tree, clamped his jaws around the zip tie, and pulled with every ounce of strength. 20 agonizing minutes later, the plastic snapped. Sarah collapsed forward, sobbing into his fur. "You found me 8 miles. You tracked me 8 miles." But freedom meant nothing with a broken ankle and 6 miles to go. Max positioned himself at her side, rigid as stone, the brace position his trainer Bate had taught him 6 months ago at the shelter. "You remember," Sarah whispered, gripping his collar. One agonizing hop at a time, they began moving. 2 hours in, Sarah's dehydration was critical. When Max suddenly disappeared into the brush, panic seized her. Then he returned, completely soaked. He pressed against her leg. Sarah understood instantly. She squeezed handfuls of his wet fur, and cold creek water ran into her cupped palm. "You genius," she gasped. He made 3 trips, each time becoming her living water bottle. Then the grunting started, low, guttural. If this story touched your heart, we'd love to share a moment with you. By subscribing to Primal Wild Stories, you join a community that believes compassion still lives on, even in the most unlikely places. Every new subscriber helps these stories reach further. A 300-pound wild boar emerged, eyes locked on injured prey. It pawed the ground and charged. Max exploded forward with a roar that shook the forest. He positioned himself between Sarah and death, teeth bared, every hair standing up. The boar skidded to a halt. Max lunged, not attacking, but challenging with such ferocious intensity that the massive animal finally retreated. Max didn't stop barking until it was gone. Her protector, her warrior. Sarah didn't remember falling. One moment she was moving, the next she was on her back, staring at spinning tree branches. Her body had quit. Max's face appeared above hers, whining, licking frantically. She couldn't lift her arm to touch him. "Sorry, buddy, I tried." In the distance, an engine rumbled, a truck. Max's ears swiveled. He looked at Sarah, then toward the sound, then back at Sarah. Every instinct screamed at him to stay. But staying meant watching her die. "Go," Sarah breathed. "Good boy, go get help." Max licked her face one final time. Then he ran faster than she'd ever seen, a golden streak racing toward their only hope. Sarah closed her eyes. But Max wasn't done fighting. Sarah woke to voices and radio crackle. Ranger Marcus Webb knelt beside her while Max pressed against her side, refusing to move. "Your dog just saved your life. Ran straight at my truck barking like the world was ending, then led me right to you." 3 days later, Sarah opened her eyes in a hospital room. Emily slept in a chair clutching Mr. Floppy. Max lay on the floor beside her bed. A nurse smiled. "That dog hasn't left this hallway since they brought you in." Emily stirred. "Mommy." "Baby, I'm here." David was arrested within 48 hours. Max's GPS collar told the whole story. His 8-mile tracking route, the hours at Sarah's location, the sprint for help. Combined with Sarah's injuries and the ranger's testimony, David's alibi crumbled. The judge sentenced him to 15 years. 2 months later, the mayor presented Max with a canine heroism medal. He sat patiently while they draped the ribbon around his neck, then immediately tried to eat it. The crowd laughed, Emily beamed. And Sarah finally understood. Asking for help isn't weakness. Accepting love isn't failure. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let someone else be strong for you. Even if that someone has 4 legs and a heart bigger than the whole world. True strength isn't found in isolation. It's found in the bonds we build and the courage to accept help when we need it most. Loyalty, love, and trust can come from the most unexpected places, and sometimes our greatest protectors are the ones we rescue first. Did Max's loyalty inspire you? Subscribe to Primal Wild Stories for more incredible true stories of animal heroism. Thank you for watching.